two types of error in science that we're going to look at. What are they? Systematic error and random error. Would anyone like to venture a guess or an informed guess about the difference between the two? Tannen.
Systematic is like with technology in that, and random is just like if you're like a few centimetres off or something, like yourself.
Yeah, it could be. Yep.
Systematic to do with your design of the experiment.
Random error can also be a cause of design.
It's systematic. You can't eliminate it with repeat trials.
Very true. Okay. So systematic error cannot be fixed by repeating trials and doing numbers of trials. Very good.
So like a thermometer reading 1 degree over, you can't. Yeah.
You've nailed it. He's onto it. It's an error of precision. Oh, sorry, error of accuracy, sorry. So, it's a situation where equipment isn't calibrated. Effectively. Okay, and I'm going to give you some graphical examples of what this looks like. But essentially, you're above or below the true value by a set amount. So if you think about a situation involving scales, okay, so if you wanted to track the weight of a human being over a year, depending upon how much running they do or something like that, okay, if you jump on the scales, if you put your scales down and you can see that you go on the old analog scales, I don't know if anyone's seen those, but you've got your marker there and it's got 5 kilograms and zero's over here. How much are all your weight measurements going to be out by? 5 kilograms, okay? It's going to be plus or minus?
Yes.
Plus. So your values are all going to be 5 kilos larger than they should be. So if you were to calibrate that, you'd need to do what? Set it back to 0 or get all your values in, subtract 5. Are we clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Another example, okay, and this is one that I used to have to argue with kids quite a fair bit when they were doing their EEIs in senior. Kids would want to get the stopwatch out and record how long it took for something to roll down a ramp. What's the problem with a stopwatch?
Human error, you might stop them.
There is human error. There's also there's a random and a systematic error involved in that.
Stopwatches can be off time.
They can be. Let's assume the stopwatch is perfect. Still going to have a systematic error.
Human reflex.
Human reflex and reaction time. Okay, so the time it takes your eyes to see what's going on and for that signal to get to your hand, that's a systematic error. Is your time going to be above or below where it should be? Above. Okay, so you're consistently above or below the set amount. That's a systematic error. It's one where you've lost accuracy. You may have kept your precision. So if we think back to the crossbow, when he was shooting the crossbow and it was dipping below the apple and hitting his son, that's an example of a systematic error. How did he fix his systematic error? Calibrated it, aimed a bit higher. Happy with that?
Yep. Yep.
So systematic errors occur in our reports all the time. You need to be aware of them. I'm going to show you what these look like in a graph later on. I'm hoping that'll make it a little bit more clear. So if a systematic error is an error of accuracy, what is a random error?
So it's an error that is random.
Well, partly. You're partly right.
Error of accuracy.
Unexpected.
Accuracy and precision.
You could be fairly accurate with a random error, but you can't be precise. Okay, so it is an error of precision. The equipment or the experiment Now, Phil said something really good before about systematic errors. He defines systematic errors as ones that you can't fix with repeat trials. So random errors can definitely have their impact reduced through repeated trials. So if at any point in time in an investigation you've identified a random error as a problem, an improvement should involve completing more trials. Fixing systematic errors is a little bit more tricky because you need to know what you're expecting. Okay, so with the random error, results will scatter around a value. How can you tell if you've got a random error? What will be an indication of your data? Hannah? Outliers are a big indication of random errors, so a lack of precision. What else?
They'll be close enough to the expected result, but not quite.
Yep, so you'll have lots of values that are kind of close to the expected result. Some above, some below.